Hey, we got Drewz Viewz here, and I'm back for a little Car Tuesday, reacting to them cartoons. Doing it on a Tuesday, and today I'm up to the finale, the Season 2, Book 2 finale of The Legend of Korra. This one is entitled Light in the Dark. So, last time on the penultimate episode of the book, we had Darkness Falls, and we saw the emergence of what apparently is called Unavatu. I don't think they said that, but a comment, Jessica told me on the comments there, shout out to her, commenting a lot. I appreciate it. The last time it looks like Korra, the avatars and the heroes in general are at their darkest hour, literally, with Rava, the spirit of Rava, or whatever it actually is. Yeah, a spirit. Getting pummeled by Vatu, or by Unavatu, into submission. I think they said before they can never completely be destroyed, but like Vatu, for instance, was locked up for 10,000 years or whatever in a tree, or however he was locked up. So I'm assuming, the season will end with Korra getting, Korra reconnecting with Rava not being locked away for 10,000 years or anything, and Unavatu winning and destroying the world. But I know there's two more books, two more seasons. But the end of season one had everyone losing their powers, and then, well, throughout the season, a bunch of benders had lost their ability to bend, and then Korra, as the Avatar, was able to get them back at the end, including her own powers. And it's been a long time since I watched season one. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened, but something like that. So I don't know. Perhaps there's something similar with the end of this season with bending and powers wise. And I was wondering last time if Unavatu has the ability, like the Avatar does, to use all forms of bending. All four forms. It seems like that's not the case, though. He still only has water and whatever. I guess whatever Vatu could do on his own, but so yeah. And then the other main storyline was Tenzin, and he had to, him and his siblings went to finally rescue Jinora. Tenzin figured out to go into like the spirit prison, essentially. He saw a spirit of his father Aang there, talked to him, figured it out, realized he's his own man, got Jinora back, but Jinora's like, I need to go help Korra, realizing she's in trouble, is what happened at the end. So I don't know exactly how she's going to help her. I thought she would have to leave the spirit world anyway. She's going to die. That's what it seemed like, the ticking clock there. But I don't know. Apparently she can stand and help Korra here. So we'll see what happens. Malak's kids, Korra's cousins, finally turn against him completely. They already slightly did last time by letting Mako and Bolin back through past them, but didn't completely turn on him. So we'll see if that happens this time, and what else happens if any of the other characters from the season that weren't really in the last one or two show up, like a Varric or one of these guys. We'll see. But I'm ready to hop right into the finale here. Book 2. So that was the completion of Book 2. And, I'll probably have more to say about my thoughts on the season as a whole, maybe leading up to my season 3 episode 1 reaction, because normally, with the finale episode of any TV season, when I do these reactions, it's hard to, just having finished it, it's hard to get all my thoughts out about everything, or to really, I need to sit with it a little bit. But I will say, overall, yeah, the season, I think a lot of people have said season 2 is the weakest of Korra, and that 3 and 4 are a lot better. I mean, there's some people that said, like, they just don't like Korra as much as the original Avatar in general. I don't think that's going to be the case for me, and there was still a lot to like about this season. I'm excited for the next one. I do think it will be better. I do think the season as a whole was fairly disappointing, at least storyline-wise. It does seem like maybe, I think I had read this or heard this, that the creators were unsure if they were going to get anything past season 1, and maybe that's why they did have the kind of ending to last season that I was talking about before this episode here, with Korra, getting all her powers back then, all her bending back at the end of the last one. That could have been an ending. Then they got renewed, I guess, and they didn't. Maybe they had to scramble a little bit for the story. Just what it felt like kind of here. Like some of the stuff was a little retready more at the beginning of the season, and then what it ultimately ended up with, just Unalaq as a whole as the main villain. It was interesting learning about the Vaatu and Robin. It's cool to get the backstory of the Avatar, but for the present day, Unalaq just wasn't an interesting villain. Even up to the end, even when he's Unavatu and all that, just saying kind of rote phrases about like completely mustache twirling and like I'm the ruler now. That I know I didn't say that maybe specifically, but I will replace the Avatar now. Like all this kind of thing. It didn't really go to an interesting place, and it ended up sidelining a lot of the, like I mentioned Bei Fong in this one. They showed her. She barely had anything to do this season. Asami was sidelined a lot of the season. They introduced a Vera character who I did like, and it was interesting. And all these characters that, they might, I assume they'll still be around going into the next season. And we have the wrinkle of the world being open up to spirits, the portals now, which is interesting as well. Like I was saying, maybe we'll see Iroh more. He'll come back out to the regular world. I don't know. Or more people will go in to see him and others. But, so that's interesting for how the world's going to go, because it did seem, like the world of Korra as opposed to Avatar, the technology is a lot different. It's more like 1920s or 30s, I don't know, Western culture sort of thing. And now it's an interesting wrinkle to have spirits back in there, potentially changing how technology or culture goes in general, but the show. But a lot of the things I liked from season one, and this was also a difference from the original series Avatar. The themes were a little heavier, or more weighty at least, in terms of, like, there's a whole benders versus non-benders issue from season one. There's a little bit in that direction, especially with the Vera character here. It was like almost like a riff on capitalism or something for a little bit, and like, I don't know, all these human kind of things in comparisons to the real world, like for kids or teenagers or wherever the show is, aimed at. I think preteen to teenagers probably. I was liking all that, and that sort of thing did get sidelined a little bit this with season 2 as well, although some of it was still there, with just the Unalaq, southern versus northern water tribe kind of family squabble type of thing. And this whole, I know the journey was like for the season was for Korra to be able to be more spiritual as well, and I guess that's where they left off. Now, even with the end there though, like, I don't know if I completely get it. Like, it seemed a little easy. The link's severed, Rava's gone, or she doesn't have access to Rava, but with her own personal spirit, I guess I get it on a metaphorical level, but literally she was able, just with her own personal spirit, to become the big spirit and fight Unalaq, or fight Unavatu. So, and yeah, which, if she wasn't the Avatar though, would she be able to do that? No, right? It still has to do something with those powers, right? And then with Jinora coming in with like a beam of light that wasn't really explained, and that really swung the fight too against Unavatu, like blinded him or whatever, and Korra was able to win there. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little unexplained exactly what happened. Maybe a little too easy. I probably would have liked to see this season, go in a bit of a different direction. Maybe be a little more interesting in terms of a conclusion there. But like I said, I am optimistic for the future of the show here for book 3 and 4, especially if they're leaving some of the characters they introduced this season. They're going to be back, like Varric. If they're going to deal with some of the weightier moral type of issues, or like just society issues, and if some of the characters like Asami, like Bei Fong, and these other ones that were more prominent in season 1, they get more to do next season. And it's good that they one plus to the season was the introduction of like Boomy and Kaya. I mean, they maybe were introduced at the end of season 1, but they had became characters this season with Tenzin's family, or that is his family. So look to see a little more out of them. General Iroh, he was briefly in this one. Some more from him, more good character stuff, more interesting, kind of maybe a little more intricate plot lines, with more twists, or something that's not as expected. Continued growth from Korra, of course, being the main character. maybe she will start being a little more mature next season, after some of the mistakes she made this season or some of the attitude issues she had that she realized, weren't for the best. Yeah. Like I said, I think I'll probably have more thoughts, before I start book 3 next time, which I'm planning to do next Card Tuesday. So maybe I'll talk for a little bit longer in front of that episode than I normally do to lead up to a new reaction episode, but we'll see about that. Please let me know your thoughts down below if you have them, comments, all that sort of thing. Do stay subscribed to these if you're not already. And until next Card Tuesday, until we get to book 3 of Legend of Korra, I'm gonna be up out of here. Peace.
It's over. For real this time.